Some people say you can have too many leads. Some people say you never have enough.
When you're writing business over the phone, let's say you have 10 leads in front of you, and that's all you have to get through the end of the day. And each one of those costs $25, $30 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
If someone hangs up on you, if someone said, I don't remember filling that out, if someone hung up on you after you quoted them and they said yes, but you asked for the social and they hung up, that is going to ruin your entire day. It's going to ruin your entire week because you only had 10 leads, right? And even if they're quality, qualified leads, if you woke up with 40, 50, 60 fresh leads that only cost you $4 or $5 on the front end, but you collected other information on the back end, if you had 50 leads to wake up to with 15 pre-scheduled appointments, if somebody hung up on you, if somebody no-showed you, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because you have 30 more people to call, and you're gonna write 2, 3, 4, 5 apps a day or more.
Hey, welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. Today's special guest. I don't know if I could take him arm wrestling or dude, anything else, but I am excited to hang out with him today. Please welcome from Digital Agent Consulting, Mr. Bobby Villanueva. What is up, Bobby?
Hey, Cody, man. I'm glad to be on, man. Glad we finally got to make this happen.
Dude, I've been trying to get you on for a while, but our schedules, both of them, are freaking nuts, dude. Like, it's cray.
Yeah, bananas,
yeah,
man. So
it's nuts.
So here we are, man.
Dude, I love it. Where are you out of?
I'm here in San Antonio, Texas.
Dude, I love it, man. You always lived there?
No, man. I'm actually originally from southeastern New Mexico. So Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, dude, the sighting of all the UFOs, man. Like, dude, but you guys are the only ones that actually get to see those suckers, you know? It's like
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it, dude. So what is Digital Agent Consulting? Who is Bobby Villanueva, and how did you end up being completely legendary and a gangster like you are today?
Well, man, it's a long story, man, but really just kind of something organic that happened from me being an agent, right?
Yes.
And going through the pitfalls of having to buy leads and work face to face, and then start generating my own leads and go telesales, and started helping tons of agents generate their own leads at the very beginning. They started having lots of success. We started stepping it up a notch and having different lead options and different strategies. And then before you know it, we have 15 to 20 pre-booked scheduled appointments per day. And really everything just kind of automated on autopilot. So I went from helping one agent to 10 to 100 to 1,000 and, to 3,000 or 4,000 agents generate their own leads in the past 2.5, 3 years or so. So now I sell leads. So I offer leads for agents that just want to purchase leads, but I also have a few different options as far as setups for agents and agency owners, depending on kind of what they're looking for as far as the structure, so
yeah,
they can become their own lead vendor in-house.
Cool, dude. It's one of the ways you got so smart is like you got sucked up in one of those UFOs and then they like spit you back out.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
How do you learn all this stuff, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a special dude, really smart, doing a bunch of cool stuff. How'd you learn it all?
Well, I was in the car business for 11, 12 years, as a teenager, all the way up into my late 20s. So during that time, as far as marketing and sales and all sorts of different things, and really just relationships and different scenarios. I mean, the car business was really kind of my college to life and to sales and marketing, right? But during that time, I got into different e-commerce stuff and lead generation and different processes and things like that. So when I left New Mexico and I headed here to Texas, I got out of the car industry or the auto industry, and I got into insurance. And I transferred some of that lead generation and things of that nature to insurance. And it was just really just a simple process from there. But I could say that I learned different things from different programs I went through that was outside of the insurance industry.
Yes.
But
Same.
A lot of it was trial and error as well. I mean, tons of trial and error. And as you keep on progressing, the trial and error just keeps coming, right? It doesn't stop. but you just find the golden nuggets and the different tweaks here and there, and it continues to rock. So
Dude, you never, that's a good point, man. Like, it's funny. People think like, dude, I've arrived and I like know it all. And you know what I mean? Like, dude, you never do. Like, it's always changing. Marketing landscape's always changing. You're staying up in the head of the curve, what's going on. And you're always willing to like learn and keep figuring it out, which is cool, dude. That's awesome. I mean, here's one question that's interesting. Like, a lot of agents think they need to like, stop selling and like learn everything about like funnels, pixels, freaking API, and all the behind the scenes stuff. I don't know that I agree with that. What's your philosophy?
that at some point they need to stop learning about all
No,
that?
no, no. Like they just think that like a lot of people think that they need to be like the greatest marketer in the world and know all those pieces.
No, absolutely not. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, for what we do in the insurance industry and the process, like lead generation compared to e-commerce and Shopify stores and all sorts of different things that need to be put in place, lead generation is so simple. It's really, if you understand kind of the marketing concepts and different ways to frameworks to do it, lead generation is so simple.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need all the pixels and analytics and all sorts of different things, right? And I say that because I've had different lead gen programs in the past that wasn't a done for you process, more in a course format. And the first one I put together was an hour and a half long. And it's like packed a ton of value, super simple, straight to the point. This is how you do it. This is how you get there in one day, and it's done. And the next one, a few months later, I turned it into like a 20-hour course, right? And the reason and I made a mistake by doing that, but I had to learn from that because I had so many agents reaching out, asking about all these sorts of different things and pixels and all sorts of stuff. So I was like, man, they're asking for it. Let me just give it to them, right? But it was a mistake because when I did that, I learned that nobody went through the program and results started getting lower and lower and lower. And simply because we don't even need all that stuff. We want to just learn how to generate leads, automate the business, do this as fast as possible. That way we can get results. Because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. So all the pixels and mumbo jumbo and algorithms and all sorts of stuff, just don't pay attention to it. Let's make this as simple as possible,
Yeah, here's kind of a comfort, it's very common right now, and it's like everybody thinks you have to put it in every sentence, and that's like AI, artificial intelligence. What's funny is like, dude, nobody talked about it in 2022, but 2023, it's like every 4 words come out of their mouth, they've got to like throw it in there. It's like, you know what I mean? Like with all the systems and the engines and the algorithm and everything that's going on in the world and marketing and AI has been important. And I'm like, dude, what are they talking about? What do you think about that? Like, do you need to know anything about artificial intelligence to succeed in insurance?
No, not at all. In fact, when you start hearing about a lot of this stuff, it's really just an angle to be sold on the new biggest and best thing, right? But
True.
The more we simplify something, the more results and the faster the results we're going to get. So
Hey, man.
If you're talking about AI and all sorts of different things, it's not needed. It's not needed, right? This is a whole lot more simple than what you think. And as far as AI, maybe you can use it to help you write copy and have different frameworks.
Yes.
And feed off of it. But no, it's definitely it needs to be done by you. And
totally.
AI is not needed.
Dude, the only AI I'm talking about is Allen Iverson. Like that's the only AI I know. Are you a baller? You a hooper?
My son is, man.
Dude, that's awesome, man. How old is he?
I was saying that you were as well, right? Growing up.
Yeah.
I was going to talk to you about that now because my son, I mean, that's all we do all day, every day, right? And my son, he plays AAU basketball. So, I mean, it's practice all week. If it's not practice, it's training on the weekend, 2-day tournaments. We're traveling and things like that. So, in fact, that's a big part of what I do outside of insurance. And
that's cool, man.
Lead gen,
What's his name? How old is he?
He's 11. His name is Ben.
I love it, man. Well, what's cool about like this business and what you're doing is it does create a lot of freedom to like build a business, make some great money, help a bunch of people. That's what I love about this industry, and also spend some time with family, and make time for what's important, which is cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, and if you put together the right frameworks in the business, All right. So I run across different agents.
Mhm.
I run across agents that write business for 2 weeks and they write good business and they're burnt out and they don't come back until 3 months later. Right. And at that point, they don't have any money. They're scrambling for leads. And even when they do have leads, they're not putting anything together because they're in the wrong framework as far as the state of mind. Right.
Yeah.
Or you find the sustainable system where you generate your own leads. You have the correct processes and frameworks in place. You work on a sustainable schedule day to day. You enjoy the luxury of writing business from home, spending time with your family, doing other things. And you wake up with 20 appointments on your calendar the next day and you stay enjoying insurance,
Let's go, bro. I love it. Let's go. How important is, actually, before I get there, you talked about, man, like freaking filling up a calendar and having appointments. This is my schedule this week.
Wow.
Like, no lie. Stupid. Like
Right.
15 minutes from like 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then I got to go to Jamaica on Saturday, and I'll probably have almost this busy of a calendar next week. How important is it to have a busy calendar, people to talk to, activity?
I mean, really just activity is everything. So like when I talk about generating leads, and I always say, you need too many leads, because even if you're horrible on the phone and there's certain skills that you're working up to get into and different frameworks on getting through your phone calls, if you just have activity, you're going to fall into sales. You're going to write 2 or 3 sales a day just because you had activity. And then you're going to have the snowball effect and things like that. But you definitely need to have a set schedule in place, because that's the only way you're going to get through your day most efficient, right?
For sure. Yeah. What have we not mentioned as far as like what you do and how you do it, and who you normally help that we could talk through that we haven't yet?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah. I mean, well, like what have I not asked or we haven't talked about that like you would love to share in relation to like what you do and who you help?
Well, really, I've helped brand new agents in the industry that are kind of trying to find their way, and who do I sign with, and how do I get leads, and how do I do everything that has to do with the business, right?
Yes.
And then I help new agents because I work with so many different IMOs and things like that, and I know the structure throughout all the different IMOs, and kind of try to coach them in which way to go and what to look out for. But also agents that have been in the industry that are stuck at $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month in premium, and their upline or whatever you want to call it doesn't know how to necessarily get them to 30, 40,000 a month, because if they don't have lead gen and processes in-house, they're outsourcing everything. They're never going to get there, right? So I've helped agents, just single agents, not agency owners, get from that 10 to 15 to 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a month, simply by getting over that disconnect from marketing and sales. I don't know why in the insurance industry there's so much disconnect between the marketing and the sales side, and why it's not together.
Yeah.
It was kind of odd, and it blows my mind, because it should be in-house.
Speak to that more, because that's a really good point. That's one of the coolest things you said is like, you're right. A lot of it's like sales stuff, but they don't help with the marketing stuff, or they help with the marketing stuff, but they don't have the sales stuff, or they just give you free stuff. But like, it's not normally all connected, but it is so important that it is from a process standpoint. Talk about that, man. Like that, that's a really good point.
Well, I mean, when you get in the insurance industry, there's really 3 things that I would be looking for, especially when you talk to an IMO and wanting to sign. It's, all right, can you provide training, like real proper training from agents or yourself that are writing 40, 50,000 a month, week in, week out, daily, right? Like clockwork. So the training, as many leads as you can possibly have in-house, to where you can get leads for cost and not retail, and comp at the end of the day. Put those all together. If you have a medium between all 3, then I mean, that's really what you should be looking for.
Yeah.
But leads is huge. If you don't have leads, you don't have anything. If you're outsourcing leads, you're just going to be spinning your wheels, because there's huge agencies out there that are talking about, $1 million months and things like that, right? But they're really not making them. They're really not keeping any money at the end of the month. It's simply because they're outsourcing everything that costs money, and it costs double, triple, quadruple. So at the end of the month, they're not making anything. If leads and marketing was in-house, you can spend less time, write less business, and make more money than whoever's doing it the opposite.
Yeah.
But there doesn't need to be a disconnect whenever you get your license. Marketing, sales, training should all be in-house.
Yeah. Here's a couple questions for you. Would you rather 1 million followers or $1 million?
1 million followers, because you could turn that into $10 million if you do it the right way. And
No
in
doubt.
fact, you don't even need 1 million followers. You can do that with 100,000 followers, or even less, 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
You do it the right way, because if that's really niched down and you're really speaking to that audience, there you go.
True. What about here's like a controversial question lately that I've noticed. Some people say you can have too many leads. Some people say you never have enough.
I had never heard someone say it's wrong to have too many leads until I was on Facebook a few days ago. And I was like, look, how is it wrong to have too many leads?
I struck a chord, though. This is good.
Yeah, it's only wrong to have too many leads if you're paying too much for them.
Yeah.
If you're doing your marketing in-house and you're paying a fraction for the amount of leads that you can get daily, then it doesn't matter, man, because all right, when you're writing business over the phone, let's say you have 10 leads in front of you, and that's all you have to get through the end of the day. And each one of those costs $25, $30 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
If someone hangs up on you, if someone said, I don't remember filling that out, if someone hung up on you after you quoted them and they said yes, but you asked for the social and they hung up, that is going to ruin your entire day. It's going to ruin your entire week, because you only had 10 leads, right? And even if they're quality, qualified leads, if you woke up with 40, 50, 60 fresh leads that only cost you $4 or $5 on the front end, but you collected other information on the back end, if you had 50 leads to wake up to with 15 pre-scheduled appointments, if somebody hung up on you, if somebody no-showed you, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because you have 30 more people to call, and you're going to write 2, 3, 4, 5 apps a day or more. So I think there's no such thing as having too many leads, only if you're paying way too much for them. And if you're paying way too much for them, you wouldn't even be able to afford too many leads.
True. Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
No, that's good, man. That's good feedback. Yeah, because it is interesting. Like, I'm someone that, dude, I love control and I like having a lot. Like it tends to like solve a lot of problems. And if I can, brand along the way, I like that too.
Right. I think branding comes into place, definitely, always. A lot of times, especially with like the senior market, I don't think branding is so important on the front end, but on the back end it is. I don't think you should ever stop branding yourself, but I think we should do lead gen both ways. Branding yourself and being your own lead vendor, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So whoever's buying leads from Final Expense and things like that, they'll know what I mean by, that lead doesn't know who you are until you call them. I think you should do both. But I think it's important to be in control of your own marketing, because you're in control of the process. So I have something called my ladder step method. All right. And I know you've probably heard anything, dual funnel systems, triple funnel systems, all sorts of different things, right? I call it my ladder step method because really it goes increments them through a ladder step, right? So we get, the structure I have in place is we get huge volume up front for really low cost. And on the back end, after it's a lead already, we turn it into a high intent lead, absolutely free. So we ask less questions up front. It's a lead already at that point. On the back end, we find out their whole life story, any medications, whatever's going on, how much they can afford. Our leads actually let us know what they can afford monthly before we get on the phone call with them. And it's all free information.
Okay, so explain to them, how is it free if I'm paying, because I'm getting the leads on the front end and then I'm...
Right, it's already a lead at that point.
Yeah.
So we get leads from wherever, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, TikTok, with less questions up front. The ad is about insurance, right? We still use marketing principles, but it's still all about insurance. So we collect basic information up front. It's a lead at that point. They land on a thank you page or some sort of survey. They fill out a questionnaire. It can be like a 15-question questionnaire, depending on which one, 7 to 15 questions. And it's all free because it's already a lead on the front end, right? And then, 20, 30% of those are going to pre-schedule appointments daily, so, and that's free as well. You don't have a dialer calling to pre-book appointments for you or yourself booking appointments. You wake up, you have 30, 40 leads, 15, 20 pre-scheduled appointments, and it only costs you $4 to $7 a lead, depending on the structure you follow when doing your own lead gen,
It's awesome. It's awesome. If someone's like, dude, I like where Bobby's headed, man. If they want to learn more, where should we send them? What should they do?
I'm gonna go to my Facebook group. I'm sure in the bottom of this video in the description there's going to be a link. Okay. I'm going to have some free trainings and the whole framework of how we do lead generation, or how to purchase leads, or how to set up as your own lead vendor through your agency. So make sure and click the link in the description and head there and get to the community and get the free training. But you just find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, Digital Agent Consulting, or on Instagram, bobbyv.digitalagentconsulting. When you get to the Facebook group or to the different websites, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials, whether they're through text message format, Messenger, on my various Facebook groups, hundreds of video testimonials. So this isn't something that I've been doing for just a couple of months or came into the insurance industry selling programs or offering different strategies. This is something I actually did on my own, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents do this. And so there's lots of different testimonials and social proof behind that, and I take pride in that, because I really don't, I see lots of different programs and things like that in the industry, but I never really see any testimonials or anything. Right. And, if there is any, it's the same one or two that they've been showing agents for the past 3 or 4 years. It's like, so that's why I mentioned that.
I love it, dude. That's really good. So the Facebook group, we'll also put a link below for them to check it out. What's the Facebook group called?
It is the Digital Agent Community.
Digital Agent Community.
Find it from searching through Facebook, maybe, or just click the link below.
Let's go, man. Dude, Bobby, appreciate you, everything you're doing. Thank you for being on the Power Player Podcast. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you all for listening. Let us know in comments below what you thought of this episode once it airs, and we will see you on the next Power Player Podcast. Adios. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Special guest today. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. I got a couple special things for you today as well. From Woodland Hills, California, with Gaspar Insurance Services, and a brand new book literally launching right now. Please welcome